What's up, Marvel fans? This is Dan Stevens, and I'm bringing you some very interesting information of the new Captain America Civil War film for next year. Yes, it came on yesterday, and there was some actually good info what they were speaking about, and I thought I'd talk about this on the video. So let's get started. Our first bit, we want to talk about characters. Yes, they go on talking about the characters, who's in it, and also which side they're on. So here we go. I'm going to start with Cap's side. Okay, so on Captain America's team, he's going to have Falcon, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. So that'd be good. He's got those three on his team. I mean, because he's got Falcon and Black Widow, because he was pals with them in the second film, and he's pals with Hawkeye, and it looks like they'll have a more friendship in that one. And for Iron Man's side, and this is an surprising one, War Machine, Vision, and Ant-Man. And when I say surprising, because for War Machine, I had a guess that he was going to die in the film. So it looks like now that he could survive, because we all know now, because from a couple of days ago in the TV spot, he's going to wear the Mark II War Machine uniform. So I just had to wait and see if he does survive or not. Vision, that's going to be good to see him again, because Paul Bettany did say that he was going to come back as Vision again, and he's going to be in more Marvel films in the future. And I hope if he's not got a big role in the Avengers Age of Ultron film, then I hope he gets like a more bigger role. Well, kind of more big in the Civil War story. Now for Ant-Man, they didn't even say which Ant-Man is going to be. Like, is he going to be Hank Pym, or Scott Lang? Because in the MCU version of Marvel, we all know that Hank Pym is the Ant-Man he was Ant-Man when after the war that Captain America was in, and as normal, Scott Lang for normal, he's the modern one. But he in the comics he's the second modern Ant-Man. But you know what I'm saying. Now, then they go on talking about Black Panther and Scarlet Witch. They go on talking about these two, and what's happened to these two is this: they're in the middle of it. So they ain't really said what side they're on yet, but I've got a good guess which side they both are going to be on. Like, Black Panther is going to be on Captain America's side. He'll have his reasons, but we'll have to wait to see that movie. Now, Scarlet Witch, her reason will be because if her and Vision, if these two have a talk moment, if they get talking and they start having their themes for one another and they fall in love in the end, if that does happen in the Avengers film, then that's the reason why, because she wants to protect him and he wants to protect her. They're in love with each other, if that does happen in the Avengers film. So that's my guess for that one. Now moving on, now the next bit, they go on about villains. Yep. So looks like we're going to get two villains. Now the two we're getting is Bear Zemos and Crossbones. I mean, it was obvious with these two, because we did hear about Bear Zemos was going to be in it, and it was obvious from Crossbones for the start in Captain America's Winter Soldier, because even if he didn't wear the uniform, but in this new one, he will be called Crossbones. It'll be good to see that character back in it, because in the end of the second Captain America film, the Winter Soldier, he got all scarred and scratching everywhere. So I'd like to see if that's all healed up or anything. Now, next bit, they go on talking about the costumes. Now, I want to start with Crossbones' costume. Well, they didn't really say about the uniform he's wearing, but they do say about his helmet. Excuse me. They said about his helmet, he's going to cover his full-on face. He's going to cover his whole face, but I bet they'll leave the eyes. They'll have them out, so they won't cover his eyes. The mask is going to be a hybrid mask, so it's going to be actually, if you think about Deathstroke's mask, yeah, it's going to be like that, but the difference is it's going to have a scar in it, and the one side's not covered the eye, so it's going to be like that. Then, next bit, they talk about Falcon. They said his costume's going to be modified, so it looks like it'll have some different looks to his first time he was in from Winter Soldier film. And for colours, he's actually going to have the grey and red from from the comics he had the red, but he never had the grey on. He was white, but no, well, that's good actually, because it'll be good to see something different. I mean, even we're getting the one colour he had from the comics, but we're getting a different one. It'll be good to see how this works out for the movie version of him. So it'll be good to see so it looks like it'll be good to see a different look of him. For Captain America, they said that he'll get a modified one as well, so it looks like he's going to get a different one from after this. But I'd say it'll be the Secret Avengers kind of look one. Well, whatever kind of costume they're thinking of designing on, but that'll be interesting to see. And for Winter Soldier, so it looks like Winter Soldier's in the film. He says they said that he's actually just going to look what he had in the that one, but I'd say though he'll have his long hair. They say he's going to have the same look, but I'd say they'll modify it a little bit. Like they'll make it some little bits different on his costume. And for the armor, you can't change nothing on the arm, but we'll just have to wait to see what they'll do to him. And well, just hold there with these pictures of them, wearing them, so we can know. So we can get a glimpse what they'll look like. Now this next bit before I get to the plot bit, the next bit they go on talk about about Ant-Man, and what they say in the film, he's going to become Giant Man. So that is awesome. We're going to see him become Giant Man, and looks like he'll turn into Giant Man. He'll have a big fight in the street. He'll mess the whole buildings and the street up. But also, what they said is that him turning small, that will still be involved with him. He'll still become small in the movie. So looks like he'll still keep that. So before I carry on, when they first announced that, the Ant-Man film, I did say to myself, I want to see him become a giant. Become Giant Man in his own film. But if he's not going to do that in his own film, then that'd be good. We'll see it in that film. But it'd be funny if they just give us just one scene, seeing him become giant, or maybe like an end credit scene when he's just testing his suit and, he turns to giant. So that would be interesting. Now I want to move on to the plot. Now for plot wise, they aim to give us it's not, I don't know, what I'll say, it doesn't really kind of sounds like a plot, but it is something that it'll look like what's going to happen in the film. So, if you remember the comic book storyline, well, the beginning of it, you had a super villain, and I can't remember his name, but I have heard his name before. And what it is, he goes to this area in America. It was in America, don't worry, in a street area, and he has some camera people with him. And from what he did, he was a show-off thing. And what he did was he blew up this area and he killed 600 people, and that's why the government thought of. That's it, we're going to get everyone to reveal their identity, so then we can know so then we get them signed, and then, so then we can follow them and we can see what they're going to do before they do it. So what they're saying for him, that it's going to be, it sounds like it's going to be the same, but difference is Crossbones. It seems like Crossbones is going to be doing that, but I don't know if he's going to destroy an area and kill 600 people, or he's going to do something different, kind of similar to that, but it's not it could be not blowing the whole area, it could be blowing windows and bit of walls on the buildings, and just kill a couple of people, but they didn't say. For Bear Zemo, well, they didn't really say what about that, because they didn't really say about that, so I wonder if he's going to be the puppet, he tells Crossbones to do all that stuff, and he just sits back and watch him do all this stuff. And if he does come to that, then it looks like, but he might still have some, he'll do everything, he'll do everything on himself, all that. But I just got a feeling that. Now, Bear Zemo, if you've never heard of him, or if you've never heard his origin, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Well, in the war, when Captain America was in, there was a Bear Zemo in his timeline, and when it came to modern day, another one came around, because the one from the war time, he was his dad, and when his dad died, his dad passed the costume on to him. And what he was, well, I don't know if it happened to his dad as well, but or him, but I'll tell you this. When he's in the middle of a fight with Cap, some kind of liquid acid stuff, from the guess I think it's acid, well, not badly acid that kills you, but I'll tell you what it is. I'll just say what it is. This stuff gets onto his costume, and what it is, the costume gets tighter, and he gets stuck on his skin, gets stuck on his body, and he can't take it off. And as that, he's always stuck like that for the rest of his time. So I don't know was it his dad who also had that happen to him, or was it just his son, or was it both of them? But for the MCU version, I don't know what they're doing with that, but we'll have to see till then, because Actually, since when I first saw him in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I did say to myself, and that's the animated series, for I want to say, I did say to myself, I want to see him in live action. I want to see what he's capable of, and I hope if he does survive, I hope they tease a little bit, you know, of the Masters of Evil, because I would love to see that come to happen. And one more thing I want to finish before the before the end of this video. Well, before I end it, they didn't really say nothing about Spider-Man. Really, they didn't say about the wall of what's going to happen to him. But I'd say they keep this as a secret. You know, I bet they just keep it all quiet for now and before the film comes out, they'll tell us, or maybe before you know, maybe before the first trailer comes out. Before I end this video, I just want to take this time. I want to say I got some guesses of what other characters they can add into this. Maybe they can add in Quicksilver. Well, if he's alive in the Avengers film, maybe Thor, but we know in the comic books he's not in it, and Tony creates a clone of him, and that becomes Ragnarok. But we all know that they're not doing that. That's not the Ragnarok we're going to have in the MCU. Hulk, I don't know, because in the story he got launched into space, so he wasn't in Civil War. But if they don't launch him into space, then I hope maybe he could be a little involved in it could be a little bit involved, or, well, massively involved. Maybe you can get Daredevil in it, you know, a second commander Cap's team. Get the Defenders in it, because remember the Netflix are doing the Defenders, so get them in that one first, so we can have our first looks at of our characters. Well, we've seen Daredevil already, but out of the three, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, I want to see them first before the series. Wasp, I would love to see Wasp in it, because in the Ant-Man film, it's the daughter who's in that film, and the mother, well, I don't think they said what's happened to her mother in the film universe, but I want to see the daughter turn into Wasp. And that's all in today's news. So as normal, you can leave a comment about this information I gave you on this one. And as normal as well, I post videos and the pictures on my Facebook Marvel page. And please leave a like and a subscribe as well if you're new as well. And I'll see you again soon. Peace.